This is me, J Woods. So Kim Chi Chic Cosmetics, they have like a 50% off sale, so I picked up some products which I wanted to review today. So yeah, basically I had to stock up on the Puff Puff Pass powder. I love this powder. This is what it looks like. It is a really large powder. You get so much product and it's so amazing. It's really similar to the Huda Beauty setting powder that everyone loves, except the Huda Beauty one, it has like a really strong scent, whereas this one doesn't have a strong scent, which is why I love it. It doesn't have any scent at all, but it sets your makeup so gorgeous. I also picked up the Stage Proof Matte Setting Spray, which is this right here. I actually picked up 2 of them. How cute is this packaging? That's one of the things I love about this brand. Not only are their products amazing, but their packaging is so freaking cute. Do you see this? How adorable. So I heard so many good things about this setting spray. I think this is like one of their best sellers. So I'm super excited to use this because it is matte and my skin is super duper oily. So hopefully it does some type of miracles on me. So I also picked up one of their glosses. I already have 3 of their glosses. So I picked up this pink one because I wanted to do a pink look. So I figured it'll probably look cute. Hopefully it focuses. No. Okay, looks like it's not focusing, but it's like a pinky. In person it looks kind of mauve, so we're gonna see how it actually looks on the lips. I also picked up her beauty sponge. This I think is also really popular. What's cool is that it comes in this plastic case and it's actually a carrying case. So if you look at it closely, you see right here it has these holes. It has it on both sides, and basically that's so when it's like wet or whatever, you can put it back in here if you're gonna travel with it, and then it'll still dry, because you obviously can't put a wet sponge in a closed area because you will grow so much bacteria. But what I'm super excited to try, since I never tried any of her eyeshadows, I'm so excited to try this. This is the You Make Me Happy palette. And you open it up. Oh. Alright, I'm scared. I don't want to like break it. Okay, so it looks like on the outside. It's a cute plastic palette. And then you open it. Ooh! So pretty. This is what it looks like on the inside. Oh, that is so nice. So yeah, if you want to see me try out these products, just keep watching. This Kim Chi Chic concealer the last time I placed an order. This is the shade Light Beige. It's definitely too light for me, but I love to use it to carve out to my eyebrows because it has like this nice thin brush tip. And then the other day I was on the Instagram for the brand and they said that this can also be used as like an eye primer. So I'm going to use it as an eye primer today. Usually I don't like to use concealers as primers. I feel like they just don't last as long. Because I feel like concealers usually have like some oiliness in it, whereas a primer, it should have like a wax, some type of wax in it, because that'll help it not be so oily. Which this concealer actually, I think it has some type of wax, and I think it has like beeswax in it, so that should help it work well as a primer. Okay, so I carved out my eyebrows. I'm just gonna put some on the bottom. So yeah, how convenient is that it has like that little brush tip? It's also perfect if you want to like snatch your nose because it's already a brush. So it's like, yes. So I'm using a mini beauty blender since it's just in my eye area. I'm just gonna blend that in. Alright, so I'm gonna do my other eye and I'll be right back. Alright, so I really want to do a pink eye look, all pink. So I'm going to go into the color Caliente, which is this hot pink right here. I'm just going to sort of pack that onto the crease area. Okay, so this is definitely the type of color where you want to like layer it, because when I first put it on, it looked like a bit powdery. It looks like almost kind of patchy, but as I'm layering it, it's looking really pretty. I want to blend out those edges, so I'm going to go into the shade Slayage, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to go over the edges. This one is less of like a hot kind of color. Like the other one's definitely a hot pink. I think this one's more of like I don't know, maybe like a magenta or like a Barney color. These shades definitely have some fallout, so when you are applying them and blending them, just be careful with that, especially if you already did like your concealer. Ooh, that might be a little dangerous. Oh, this is blending out so pretty. So what I notice about these colors is that they don't go on immediately super duper like bright. They go on kind of soft and then you could build it up from there, which some people might not like. Some people like immediate crazy pigmentation on the first wipe, and some people prefer to build it up. I think that when you are using a color as like a transition, as I'm doing here, you definitely want something that you can build up. And then you could always just pack it on if anything. So I went back into Caliente and I'm just going to put it on my lower lash line. Alright, so I'm going to take some more of my concealer just to cut my crease. I always put some on the back of my hand and then I just take it from there. And like I said, what's good is that since this is a brush tip, even if I get some eyeshadow on, it gets a little bit pink, I can just wash it because it's a brush, you know? So before I apply the lid color over the cut crease, I'm going to go back into the shade Caliente just to put it on the outer corner. I'm going to take the shade Princess Me, which is this beautiful frosty pink right there. I'm just going to take a brush. Let's see how this goes on. Okay. I think this is more like one of those like topper types of shades. It gives me like a pressed pigment type of vibe. So since I applied it to the edges with a brush, now I'm just gonna dip my finger in it, because usually these types of shades, they go on better with your finger. I'm gonna press that on there. Ooh. Okay, so I'm loving that lid color. It's so pretty. So I'm gonna go into, what the heck is this? Slayage, which was that purpley pink that I used, and I'm going to use that sort of to blend in Caliente. Alright, so now I'm going to take this pearly shade. Is it pearl? It looks kind of white. It's called Sparkle Star, this one right here. I'm going to put that on my inner corner. Okay, so this one is kind of like a duochrome. So when you put it on, it reflects like blue and green. I'm actually going to wet my brush. I just put some of the setting spray I bought. Because this one's also like a pressed pigment topper type shade. Ooh, this is so pretty. I don't know how it looks on camera, but in person, it definitely does not look white on the inner corner at all. It looks, actually, the more you apply it, the greener it gets. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I like do not want to stop putting it on. It is so pretty. Oh my god, no, I think, yeah, on camera you only see the white. But in person, I'm telling you, you can see like, it has like this green iridescence. It's just sparkly, it's just... I don't think the brand has any eyeliners yet, so I'm going to use my favorite, which is the Epic Ink Liner. So I just wet the blender and honestly I'm already kind of shook. This feels so nice. I feel like this is probably the closest I've gotten to sponge that feels like the actual Beauty Blender. It feels a lot like it, except this feels much softer, which I think is nice. I don't even know how to explain it. It feels like so nice and luxurious and similar to the Beauty Blender. I'm like kind of shook right now. It's also really huge. So I'm going to apply some concealer, obviously, and then blend it out with this just to see how well it works. Okay, yes. I almost feel like this is too big though. I love how it feels and everything, but it's like so huge. Like, look at that next to my face. Okay, now I'm gonna take the Puff Puff Pass powder. Let's see. This thing is so huge, apparently. So now I'm gonna take the lip gloss. This is the shade Natural Pink. MAC Soar and just go it around the edges a little bit. I'm going to use some of the setting spray. I'm just going to shake it up just in case. Throw my hair to the back. And, ooh, okay. Okay, so here is our finished look using the new, well, actually they're not new, but they're new to me, Kim Chi Chic products. So just to go through everything, what was the first thing I used? Oh yeah, that palette. So I really, really love how my eyes turned out using this palette. With the shades that I used, so I only used 4 of the shades. There definitely was some fallout. I could see it in the palette and also on my face while I was using it. There was some fallout down here. So if that's something that bothers you, maybe this isn't the palette for you. It doesn't really bother me. You just have to make sure that you tap your brush before you put it on your face. And that'll definitely help a lot. But I do like how the look came out. I feel like the colors really complement each other well. They like blend into each other nicely because they aren't too intense. Sometimes when you have shades that are too intense, you can't even blend them into each other because they're both like so shockingly bright that it's like blending it out just isn't going to work. But with this palette, even though the colors are very, very bright and they are pigmented, they aren't so pigmented to where as soon as you touch them on your eye, you're just like, whoa, it just did the most. With these, you could definitely pack them on slowly, or you could just apply a little bit of it and then it'll look very light. It did go on a little bit patchy when I first put it on. I don't know if that's because sometimes when you buy a palette, there's almost like it's almost like a layer that seals it on the top of the shades. I don't know if any of you have experienced that, where like the first time you dip it in, you get no color. Then when you keep going in, you start getting more and more of the color to come out. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, when you do layer and build it up, it doesn't look patchy anymore. But the first time you put it on, it might look a little bit patchy. I also love these 2 colors. I realize that they are topper type of colors, so you definitely want to put something under it. So since I put a concealer under this pink, I feel like that's why it came out looking so gorgeous. Looking like a crystal ball. And then for the inner corner, I just wet my brush before I put it on, and I feel like that also helped it a lot. But I think the best way to use it is to use something under it, whether it's a concealer or just another eyeshadow color. You definitely want to put it under, and then you could just put this on top and then it'll look beautiful. So moving on, I'm thinking like what else did I buy? Oh yeah, this sponge. This sponge, I don't know what to say. This sponge is so freaking good. It is huge, which is my only complaint. It's like almost too big. I wish that they had like a mini version of it because literally holding this up, this is like almost half of my face. So with me, when I use a sponge, I like to be able to like get into the edges sort of and like clean things up a little bit. So it is hard to clean things up when you have such a large sponge, but the quality of the sponge is so amazing that I'm going to use it every single day, every single time, because honestly the quality of this is just everything. It feels so nice. It's so soft. It feels so much like the Beauty Blender, but even better. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels nicer than the Beauty Blender, which I never thought that anything could compare, but this is so freaking good. What else did I get? I keep forgetting like the products that I got. Oh yes, I also got the lip gloss. Where did I put it? I just used it. Oh yeah, this lip gloss, I love it. I've been loving the glosses in this line because, oh god, it's on my teeth. I don't love that. But what I love about the glosses from this brand is that they actually had pigmentation. You don't have to put anything under them. With some glosses, you have to put a lipstick under, or you have to put a lip gloss under. No, not a lip gloss under. You have to put a lipstick under or a lip liner under. With this, you don't have to put anything under it. The glosses are so pigmented, you can wear them on their own. With this, I just thought it was a little bit too light pink, so that's why I went around the edges with Soar. But if you are, I guess, fairer skin, you could definitely just wear this on its own. But it is a very light pink, maybe a little bit too light for me, but once I added Soar, I think it looks so good. And last but not least, this Stage Proof Matte Setting Spray. Obviously, this is the first time I'm trying it, so I don't know if it's gonna last like hours and hours and hours. You know, I'll put in the description how long it lasts and how well it keeps my makeup matte. But what I did like about it is that the sprayer is so nice. It's just like, it sprays nice and like, how do I describe it? Obviously, when you buy a setting spray, you want something that disperses the product evenly, right? So that's what this thing does. Lately, I've been using these aerosol type of setting sprays like this one. And with this, the way that it sprays is super duper fine. That's what I like about this. But honestly, this one has a similar spraying to it, where if you hold it far enough, it will still be like a fine mist. So that is what I appreciate about this product. Hopefully it keeps my face matte, but we'll see. So if you have any questions, definitely leave them down below. If you've ever tried any of these products, definitely let me know what you think. I feel like everything that I've tried from the brands, I've really liked, which is, yeah, pretty much everything. That's surprising because with any brand, like, there are things you don't like, but pretty much everything I've tried, I've loved so far. So yeah, if you tried the brand, definitely let me know. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.